Good morning and welcome to the VSA Capital 5 Minute Morning Miner. It's Thursday, the 11th of November. It's Remembrance Day. So 2 minutes of silence at 11 o'clock. And our thoughts can go to all of those that have lost their lives in battle for us. Very grateful we are too. Morning, Paul.
And good morning to you. It must have been a good ride in today. Nice day out.
It was a nice ride in. And by the way, for all this, I apologize that we didn't get a 5 Minute Morning Miner out yesterday because every single one of us was busy.
Yes.
It was
running around like crazy, I think.
Well, everybody is. This market is suddenly alight. It's alight with deals, with deal flow, and with news, in truth. And actually, Paul, let's just start off with the one that really caught my eye this morning. Johnson Matthey. They're going to pull right out of battery materials.
Yeah, that's the really interesting statement out from Johnson Matthey here today. That they decided to sell all or part of the battery materials business with the ultimate intention of getting out altogether, simply because competition is rising and the capital intensity to pursue their further initiatives, particularly since they've been working on a lithium nickel oxide nickel cathode. They view that as now being prohibitively expensive as an outcome for shareholders. So they're deciding to exit at an earlier stage here, while I think they can get a good price for all the intellectual property that they've put together in the meantime. They've also announced that the current CEO will be stepping down, Robert McLeod, to retire, and that Liam Condon will be joining from the 1st of March of 2022.
It's quite a shock announcement, and they had a trading statement as well. Actually, it wasn't very good. The stock is off, 16%. Market not happy by that. But that, I think people forget this whole batteries and battery materials, critical metals. It's a very complex area. It's something that at VSA we obviously are very knowledgeable about, probably more knowledgeable than anybody else. I would say that, wouldn't I? But it's not easy. But that was the big news of the day, I think it's fair to say. Now, also, one of your favorites, Paul, Endeavour Mining. Everything's going pretty well here, isn't it?
Yes, Endeavour Mining, really good numbers out here for on their Q3 results here with 382,000 ounces produced in this latest quarter at all-in sustaining cost of $904 an ounce. Year-to-date production is up to 1.1 million ounces, which is up 101% on a year-on-year basis, with ISC costs at $875 an ounce. They feel they're in good position to beat their 2021 guidance of 1.5 million ounces, and in this cost range of just under $900 AISC. Net debt is only 70 million now, which means that their EBITDA leverage is down there at just 0.05 times. And they've got new mines that are proceeding on schedule, like the Sabodala-Massawa Phase 1 expansion is on course here. And the Phase 2 expansion is DFS study as well underway. And they feel that they're going to put about 2.5 million ounces of indicated resources into compliance here by the end of the year. So looking really good here at this point.
I mean, as a very good fund manager said to me actually first thing this morning when I was discussing it near sort of 7 o'clock in the morning, this is basically the UK's, because it is tri-listed, next Randgold.
Well, it has this focused here on West Africa and has a number of operating mines, and its growth rate would and margins would suggest that it has all that opportunity. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Okay. Now we ought to just quickly mention Macango. We like Macango. Stock's been doing phenomenally well. It's got a really good following going at the moment. But they've had a bit of news, haven't they?
Yes, they did. Government of Malawi has renewed their Thambani uranium, tantalum, niobium exploration license for a 5-year period out to 2026. It's about just under 100 square kilometers of licenses, and though these elements are not core to Macango, the fact that they are rather significant surface occurrences of these minerals, they would like to find a joint venture partner in order to develop these or explore these licenses further, just to see what kind of scope and scale the mineralization has.
Yeah, that's fair enough, really, isn't it? Now, Q3 or 9 months, whatever you want to call them, results out of Caledonian Mining.
Yes, and that's look, they gave much of this information in presentations over the last week on Caledonia, but very promising numbers there. With the excuse me, with the statement showing gross revenues of 33.5 million, which is up 32%, and they also had all-in sustaining costs, which came down by 19% to $909 an ounce. Their cash position did decline somewhat, down to 13 million, but that is understandable given some of the COVID-19 expenses that they've dealt with, both on site as well as on behalf of the local community in which they work. 48,000 or almost 49,000 ounces produced in the 9 months, and they have tightened their guidance for the full year to be something just under 67,000 ounces, they think. And their capital expenditure at Blanket Mine, they will be raising here in order to make their electricity supply more stable here.
Okay, anything else you want to mention, Paul, today or yesterday that we didn't highlight?
Yes, it came out here, for instance, that the U.S. has updated their critical minerals list from 2018. Essentially, they separately identified all the PGMs and the rare earths, that, as opposed to just lumping them together as they did in 2018. And they also added nickel and zinc as critical to the list, which weren't on there before. They removed uranium from the list, however, not because it isn't essential to the energy industry, but because it is an energy mineral, it's treated separately by definition in legislation, so it is now off of that list.
But was tin still at the top?
Tin still at the top, looking very good, and they also took helium off the list, which was kind of interesting this year. But I can understand that because they're in the last 12 months, for instance, there have been some new helium discoveries in the United States, so they're feeling less concerned about that now, I think.
It's quite an important list, that, actually, so that those that don't know it, you want to get hold of it, do come to us. Paul, I'm sure you've got a list and you'll happily send it to any listener.
Could do.
Yeah, very good. On that note, we'll call it a day.
Very good. See you then.